Hey Course Hero, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Amit, and today we are diving into how to use Microsoft Teams, a quick tutorial video. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I have set up a free Teams account, teams.microsoft.com. I'll put all the links in the description below. Once you create your free account, you'll be brought to this screen where, of course, the idea of Teams is collaborating with people. So you're given a link, and this is the link you can share with your teammates so they can come and join the same Teams instance. So you can copy this link. I'm just going to copy it and say got it. Here's the name that I'm using. If you don't have a Microsoft online account, you can create a free one. The first thing they'll do is do a little quick onboarding tips and tricks, or what to do once you're in Teams, how to start new conversations, etc, etc. On the left side, you will see the menu pane, and this menu pane will show you different things like adding apps, the help feature. You also have your activity, and activity is kind of like a running timer, almost similar to Facebook activities. And I'll put a screenshot for my company's team board where I see all the activity from different channels and different teams that I'm subscribed to. And then on chat, you can do one-on-one chat with other folks on your team, and you also have the regular teams, and this will show you all the teams that you are personally part of. And then finally you have files, and then here you have some other stuff like wiki, help, and OneNote. And then you can also get more apps. If you click on more apps, the app store opens and you can connect to all these different apps. We're not going to cover apps today, just how to use Teams and how to get started with Teams. And depending on when you're watching this, I'm recording this video in the thick of the coronavirus COVID-19, and today is March 16th 2020, when businesses are being affected like insane, people are being infected like crazy, and this is global pandemic happening right now. And due to this global pandemic, companies like Zoom and Teams are being heavily relied on, so people can still communicate with each other and continue to host online meetings, continue to carry out business as usual, especially for corporate companies. That being said, we're going to dive deep into how to use Teams, how to set up channels, how to set up your alerts, and let's just continue with this demo. So on the left here, what I'm going to do first is create a new team, and this new team is basically going to be for my internal folks. So I'm going to create 2-3 different teams just to give you a flavor of what those teams could be. So first one, I'm just going to go here, click on this little button right here which says join or create a team. And you can also invite people to these teams. I'm going to click on join or create. One thing to note is I'm using their desktop browser, but I'm using a browser to use Teams, but you can also download their desktop application, which is also free to download. So simply click on create team button here, and then you can either build a team from scratch, or you can create it from an existing O365 group if you have O365 login. I'm not using O365 right now, Office 365, so I'm just going to go build with scratch, and these teams can be either public, private, or org-wide. So let's go ahead and create a public team, and feel free to join this team once you watch this video. So I'm just going to call this a public demo team. All right, and then once you've picked the team name and the description, you can just hit create, and this will go ahead and create that team for you. Now the team has been created, so the next thing is to add members to the team. So I'm going to go open another incognito window and add another person, so we can at least have 2 people interacting with each other. And I'm going to add another email in here. You can add people as a guest or a member. So first I'm going to add a member to the team, and that's this email here. I'm just going to hit add, and you can add multiple emails. I only did one just for this particular demo, but you can add multiple emails here. If you are connected with your Office 365 instance, it'll also pull in a distribution list, and you can add an entire distribution list in here. Now it's asking me to add more members. I'm going to skip that, and then you're brought straight to the team's general board. And this is kind of like the channel, and there are different channels on each team. This channel is called general, but you can also create more channels, just like we created this team. You can add more people to this channel. Now before we do that, what I'm going to do is pause this video, create an account from that other email that I just provided, and then be right back. So here's the email that I just received. This is the invite email that your team members are going to receive, and if they're on the same domain, obviously you won't see any warnings like a security warning. And then here I can simply click on join teams. Now this one I'm going to open in Google Chrome, and that other one was in Firefox. So I'm going to sign out and sign into a different account in order to start using Teams. Give me a minute. I'm going to pause this video and then be right back. Okay, I think I was able to successfully sign up for this team as another person. So let's go look at our members and see who the members are. Right now we have this one person here, and that's just me. On this board right here, the general board, there are two members. You can see one is from my other email, and this is my original email that I signed up for using Microsoft Teams. Now that we have two people, at least we can go back and forth and have a conversation, and I can show you more features about Teams. Again, on your main general board, you can add more people, you can create more channels, or you can open the FAQ. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to go to the public demo team, and here under general, I'm going to create a new channel, and this channel is going to be dedicated to COVID-19 discussions. All right, and then the privacy, you can select either standard, which is accessible to everyone on the team, or private, which means that only accessible to a specific group of people within that team, and then you have to manually invite them. So I'm going to keep it standard and automatically show this channel in everyone's channel list, so that way anyone who is part of this team will start seeing this channel. And I'm going to add this. This new channel has been added, and you can see this is how it shows here. Under each channel, you have its own menu. So if I go into more options, I can select notifications for this specific channel. I can pin it, or I can hide it if I don't want to see this channel anymore. And then if based on whether you're an admin or just a user, you will also see the manage channel option. You can get the link to the channel, edit this channel, and then finally also delete it. If you go into manage channel, you can turn moderation on or off, and channel moderation basically will let you approve every post before it's posted. So if I search, turn this on, you can select who those moderators are. That'll be your team members. You can manage that and add more people as moderators, and you can see here that only moderators can start a new post. And then for the other members of this channel, you can allow them to reply to channel messages. You can also allow bots to submit channel messages, and then finally allow connectors to submit channel messages. We'll come back to bots and connectors later, but you can either check or uncheck these permissions, and this way you can control who submits what. And once you get notifications, you see this notification just popped in the bottom right corner. That's how you'll see notifications for different channels if you have channel notifications on. I'm going to turn moderation off for this channel and then go back to the channel itself. Now here within this channel, you see up top there are two tabs. One is files and one is wiki. You can add more tabs in here. So let's go ahead and either you can add a tab here or click the plus button here to add that tab. So I'm going to add a new tab. Here you can search for all the apps that Microsoft Teams connects with. Of course, you will need to have subscription to those apps in order to use them. So I'm going to add a poll, and there's Poly in here. So I'm going to add Poly as a tab, and here I can conduct polls, and all my channel members will know that the only way to conduct polls is to go through this tab and do the polls there. So that's how tabs work. I might need subscription to add Poly, so that might be why it's not working. Similarly, I think any other of these tabs that I use, maybe OneNote I can add. I might need permission or log into that app in order to add it. So right now it looks like it's logging into my OneNote account. Let's see if that's is successful. Might not work again because I haven't connected my OneNote account. So we'll just leave this for now. But this is how you can add different apps as tabs up top here. Looking at files, this will be all the files that have been uploaded in that particular channel, and each channel can have different set of files. Same thing with wiki. If you have set up a internal Wikipedia, all those Wikipedia details, files, pages will show here, or you can just create a blank one if you don't have it already. So for example, this one can be updates on COVID-19, and then each section can be date. So for example, if I say today's date, that will be updates from today, and then text formatting. So 1, 2. So that's how you can create an internal wiki and then add that within your team's channel. And then now if I go back here, these are all the posts. Since I already have a member in my first group, I'm going to create some posts in here. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and see who are the two members. Okay, that's perfect. I can add more members in here, or I can go into settings and then go into channel settings. This will show me all the channels that I have for this particular team, and I can add more channels in here by just clicking the add channel button. So I'm going to add the same COVID-19 channel here, and same thing, I'm going to keep it accessible to everyone, and I'll show this to everyone who's part of this team. So now if I hop back in to the second person who's also a member of this team, you can see that it shows one hidden channel, and that is the COVID-19 channel. I'm going to show this. I don't want it hidden. So now I see there was a new channel added to this team, and it's called COVID-19. I'm going to turn on desktop notifications just so I get notified anytime something new happens in this channel. Let's hop back in as our admin user, and here what I want to do is I want to make a quick post. Welcome everyone to this channel, and now I'm going to tag the person who is the only other person in this group. And if I type @ everyone shows up, and I can just start typing the name, and you can see that the only other member with this name is showing up. So I can just hit enter. That tags them, and then I can just put in an emoji and hit the send button here, and that person has now been notified. And if I go back, you will see that I was mentioned. You see the notification in the bottom. I hovered over it, it just disappeared, but I just got the notification. And if I go back here, you'll see there's a badge here, and then there's also an activity up here which tells me there's something new that happened. So if I click on activity, I see that there was something mentioned here by this person, Flatline Bravo, and in the channel COVID-19. And then I can click here and mark it unread if I don't want to see it, or if I don't want to mark it read yet, or I can change my channel notifications here, and I'm going to keep it to banner and feed. So banner would be the banner that we saw in the bottom right corner of our screen, and then the feed would be this activity feed right here. You can either turn all of this off, show only in feed, or do banner and feed. I'm also going to say include replies. So whenever I get a reply, notify me. And then channel mentions, same thing, I'm going to do banner and feed. So now that I have a mention in this channel, it says welcome everyone. I'm just going to simply reply and say thank you. Now when you're writing a reply or when you're writing a post, you can open the text editor to give you more text options. So I can go through these real quick. Highlight your text, make it bold, italic, underline, strike through, and then you can also highlight the background of the text. And here I can change the font color, and then also change the font to small, medium, or large. And then you can change it to paragraphs or heading. Or monospaced makes it look like a piece of code that you've written. Under heading 1, I'm going to remove the strike through. And then you can also clear all text formatting by clicking this little button here. And then finally, I'm going to change this back to paragraph, and you can either left align or change the indentation to right, and then bulletize it and number it, or you can put it between quotes. So this looks like a quote. I can also paste it as a piece of code. Let's insert this piece of code. This is going to stay as a piece of code, and then you can also add a link. I had just inserted some random link in there, and it pulls up the preview. You can also center align. This says insert horizontal rule. I'm going to hit enter and insert this horizontal line so it breaks the text and the code. And then you can also insert a table if you wanted to. We can delete column row about this table, mark this message as important. It shows up with red color. So for now I've marked this as important, and now I can simply hit the little paper plane to send this message, and this is how it goes through. And if we go back in here, you can see Amit has replied to the conversation. It comes up as marked as important. And if I look in my activity, it'll show up in the activity feed. You can see there's the snippet of code, here's the table that was inserted, and here's the link. If I click this link, it'll open up in a new tab. As the users, all other users also get the little reaction menu where you can like it, heart it, etc. And you can even save this message. You can mark it as unread, you can copy link, you can go into immersive reader, and then in more actions you can create a poll, which we weren't able to collect poly, so I won't look into that further. But let's save this message, and then it goes in my saved folder here. Some of the other things you can do at the bottom here is you can attach files. So I can click on this. We're setting up your files, check back in a few minutes. All right, we'll check back here all the emojis. So you can search for emojis, or you can just pick one from here. And then you can also insert GIF. It connects directly through Ghiphy. And because Teams is used mostly by companies, you won't find any R-rated GIFs. It's going to be all the regular GIFs that are PG6 or PG-13 or whatever that all your co-workers can see. So don't worry about any inappropriate GIFs showing up in here. And then you also have a little sticker. So I can add stickers in here. Let's go to Office Drama, add this, and simply hit send. And that's how the stickers go. And you can see this is what it looks like on the other end, where I'm the admin. And then you can also attach a video or click on meet now, and that starts a Microsoft Teams meeting, but since I'm already using the webcam and the webcam feed, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to say cancel. We won't just do it. And then here you also have praise. So you can give praise to your team members right from within Microsoft Teams. Now I am logged in as the admin, give praise, and then this is the Amit that I want to give praise to. You can add a personalized note and just hit preview, make sure this is what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to hit send, and then on this side I'll see that there was a new activity here. If I go, I can see Amit got praise. So you can see this is what it looks like for all other users. And then in this tray, there's some more things here. You can look at news, places, talks, weather, Wikipedia search, or YouTube video. And you can simply insert that YouTube video in. So let's go and add this for YouTube. Let's add this and just hit the send button here. And then as you can see, it pulls in the thumbnail, pulls in the title, and also how many views it has. And if I click on it, it takes me to YouTube directly to that video. I would like if it was play right here within the browser. I know I have pasted Loom videos in here and they usually play within the browser, within the app, and you don't have to leave it. So the other thing I can do here is go into news, add the news app, and then it can start pulling in news. So let's say I want to share this piece of news. I can simply hit share, or I can go and search for this news and mention my coworkers and just hit enter, and that sends that. Now, when you are typing up a message, you can also do rich text formatting, which we saw before. So let's dive a little bit deeper into rich text formatting. So I'm going to, this is a message. I'm actually going to go and copy paste some lorem ipsum. All right, so I've generated some lorem ipsum text. Now I'm going to, whoops, let's go back into edit this message. So if you send something by mistake, you can always edit it. I keep making that same mistake because I keep hitting the enter button. And then this stuff, I want to bulletize it. I'm going to put my cursor here, hit this little button to open up the formatting. When I opened up this part, it actually took me to a new post. So let's just go to this new post here. This is what I was looking for. When you are creating a new post, instead of just typing here, if you hit this little paintbrush and the font icon, it opens up this window where you can add a subject for your post, and then you can type in the body of the post below this. And when you do this expanded menu, you also have the option to change this to an announcement instead of a new conversation. And you can also have, can everyone reply to this, or only you and moderators can reply to this. So let's change this to only I and the moderators can reply to this. I've selected my text. I'm going to change the background to red so people know that this is urgent. And then I can also change the background photo if I wanted to and upload an image. I'm going to leave it as a solid color. Here, what I'm going to do is I can hit the send button, but I also want to type some more stuff. So let's put in this lorem ipsum text in here and pretend that this is a company announcement that you're making. And I am going to add some spacing. Now here, what I want to do is I want to add some bullet points. So I just select this, and this works kind of native to any text editor, that once you have bullet points, you can create indents for sub bullet points. And let me show that to you in a second once I have my bullet points ready. So here are my 5-6 bullet points. And if I go here and hit the tab button on my keyboard, so let's go to bullet point number 2, it becomes a sub bullet. Similarly here, if I hit tab twice, it keeps becoming that sub bullet of your main bullet point, and I can just keep doing that. Once I'm done, to get out of this, just click somewhere else, and now all your bullet points are done, and you can simply hit the send button to send this post into your group. Now that's for just like formatting, and all your magic is going to happen here at this bottom line where you are creating new posts, you are replying to posts, all of that. And you'll get used to, so when I hit reply here, the same menu opens, and then you have all those same features that you had before, where let's say I want to insert a GIF here. I just insert this GIF, and then once I highlight this text, I can make it bold, I can make it italic, I can open up the text editor to even put other formatting options in here and make this a heading, and then just hit send. So that I've just simply replied to my own post. So that I've just simply replied to my own post, but others can see that as well. So if I go in here, you can see the original post and then also what was mentioned here. One thing to note here is I don't have the reply button that I did earlier. For example, for this post, I have the reply button, but for this one, that reply button is gone. Because if you remember, when we originally set this post, we set it as an announcement, and we said that nobody can reply to this post, and that is why you don't see the reply option in here. So that's how you can control replies. Now let's move on to the left pane here. This is all the functionality. So we can go into chat, and here we can have one-on-one chat with other people. Now the only suggested person is the one person that's in this team other than me, is my other me. So if I click on this, I can start chatting right away, and then I can also pin this person or discard it. Now because you're chatting with this person directly, you don't need to @mention anyone, and you can create a chat and add multiple people to those chats. So if you want to create almost like a group chat, if I go in here and write this, now I can type in more people in here. If I was to type any other name, if they are part of this organization and you have access to them based on your organization's hierarchy and structure, you will be able to add them to this chat here. Obviously, I don't have that kind of access, or in my team right now, I only have one other person. If I had more people, I'd be able to create group chats, and that's how you do it. Give your group a name once you create that chat, but I don't have the option to create a group chat. So that's how chats work. Now, if I hop back in here, you can see I have a badge icon showing me that I have a new chat. When I go in here, I can see what the chat is about, and then I can simply reply to the person, or I can mark it as unread if I'm not ready to reply to it yet. I can also pin it, mute it, hide it, or go to manage apps. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button so you get notified every time I release a new video. So right now I'm just going to mark it as read and just reply. And this works seamlessly on your phone too. So all the functionality is fully available on the Teams app on your phone, so you can check that out as well. Now here you'll see that there are different options here. I have the organization option, so I can see a person's org chart and see who they report to. Again, this would be different if I had a company login that I was using, but since I can't show you that functionality. You can see all the files that have been shared between you and this other person, and then all the activity that has happened. Here's the activity that has happened for the past 10-15 minutes, and you can kind of see all of that. And then teams is where you'll see all the teams. You can again create teams, you can invite people, or you can see all the teams that you're part of. Depending on whether you are the admin or a member, your options might be limited to create new teams or join new teams. And sometimes when teams are hidden, you won't be able to join them. And then under each team, you see all the channels for that team. And then calls would be if you want to make a phone call to someone, you can use VoIP, voice over internet, and call people from the Teams app. And then finally you have files, and in files you can connect your OneDrive, or you can store files right on Microsoft Teams. And then here again we had looked at OneNote, Wiki, and Help, and then some more apps. And some of these apps might work, some of them might not work. They might need you to log in, they might need you to have a license. Connectors is what we had seen before. Connectors is almost apps that live outside of Teams but have deeper integration into Teams. Connectors send notifications right into a channel where everyone can see them. That's what a connector is. That's how it works. For example, if you are using Trello for project management and something happens in Trello, that notification will come into Microsoft Teams because it has that deeper integration. So you can see what kind of apps have that integration, or you can use webhooks for apps that don't have that integration out of the box. That was it for the apps, and then you can also download the desktop app here. Now the next thing I want to show you is how do you create a Teams meeting so you can meet other people right within Teams. I'm on the free teams right now, and in the free teams I cannot schedule meetings, or I cannot record meetings, or I cannot make any phone calls, audio conferencing. That's all on the paid plans, and all these other stuff is also on the paid plan, which I'm not in right now. Let's take a look at pricing real quick and see how much a Teams paid version would cost. So I'm on the pricing page, and I'll put all of this in the description below. On the paid plan is $5 per user per month with an annual commitment. So it's $60 per year per user, and if you have 10 users, you're looking at about $600 for the Business Essential. Now you get more than just Teams on that Business Essential. You also get access to their web apps, which is Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, Word, and OneNote, and all of those are great apps, especially their newer online versions. It's similar to Google Docs. Of course, it's not free. You also get access to 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage and host meetings for up to 250 users. So not a bad deal for $5 a month if you pay annually, or $6 a month if you pay month by month. That's how it works. Now, one thing that I am confused about is it says maximum number of users for on the free plan is unlimited. which is interesting because I thought it was 300, which is right here, Microsoft Teams free, maximum members 300 per org. But regardless, this is still a great functionality for super cheap prices, and compared to some of the other enterprise solutions out there, I think this is a no-brainer if you're looking to move to Teams. We'll continue with some of the features here. So for the calendar feature, I'm not going to be able to show you on this one, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop in to my company Teams account just to show you how the calendar feature works. So now I'm in my company team account, and this is a desktop app that I've downloaded, and here I have this calendar option, which if I go back to my Firefox browser, you can see that the calendar option is missing in my company's team app. And when you're at the calendar option, you can either meet now with someone, or you can create a new meeting, or you can schedule a meeting or a live event. So I'm going to schedule a meeting. So I'm going to select one of my coworkers and then put this meeting on tomorrow, and then here are my options. I can have this this is kind of similar to using Outlook, where you have all the options and you can put optional attendees if you wanted to, and here are all the people that you would want as required in this meeting. You can create a recurring meeting if you want, or make it a one-time event. You can also add a channel that you're going to be meeting in, and a location. A channel would be where this team meeting will get posted. The location would be the actual physical location where you want to meet, or a virtual location if you're not meeting at a physical location. I'm going to say Teams only meeting, and then your meeting description can be added here, what the meeting is about. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. The one more thing here which is important is the scheduling assistant. This will show you who is available and who's not available, so it shows that we're both available. But if we were not available, it would be like this. If I change the time here, you can see that it's showing that I'm not available, but Rahul is available. That's one thing to note about meeting, is just make sure that you check the scheduling assistant. Let's hop back into the free app. Now the other thing you can do is the search functionality. So I can go in here, and let's actually go in here, the Edge browser. Now let's say I want to through this, and this can get unruly once you start having a lot of people going back and forth on Teams. So in order to control this, or if you want to find something within that noise, you can use the filter functionality here. So let's say I want to find something, I can simply here type in this filter. I can type insane, and it shows me the one post with that word in it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a lot of posts just so you can see how this filter functionality will work between different posts. So I'm going to pause this video, make a ton of posts, and then be right back. Okay, we are back. I made a lot of posts. You can see 74 different posts have been made. I can show you the search functionality a little bit better. Now, as a user, if I want to filter through this and search for a particular thing, I can hit these little dots and look at all the things that I can search for. I can search for reactions, replies, mentions, unread, missed calls, voicemail, apps, and trending. So I'm simply going to search for, here's every post with the number 3 in it. And I can, once I find that post, I can click on it. It'll highlight that post. And now I can interact with that post like I usually would, where I can like it, reply to it, and then I can also pin it. So save it, sorry, not pin it, save it, mark it as unread, copy link, immersive, and so on. And then you can see who made that post. And this was, now I have changed my profile where I have put my profile picture here, so I know the difference between my other Amit and this Amit. So that's it for the filters and everything that you can do with a channel. Now what I want to show you is, if I go to Teams, you will see that I'm logged in as a user, not an admin, because I can tell because of the photo here. Here I can click on the team and I can add a channel as a user. And I don't think you want your users to start adding channels. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I'm going to show you where you can go to control that. So if we hop back in as an admin, so now you'll see there are more options here. As a admin, I can add members, I can leave this team, I can edit the team, get link, manage tags, delete the team, and also add channels and manage team. So let's go into manage team. Here, you'll see that it shows all the channels. So I can say, don't show this for me, or don't show this for members. The next and one place where you see a ton of stuff is under settings. When I go into settings, you have all these different options. So first is your team picture right here. I can change that team image. We are still setting up your team. You can change your profile when it's done. Come back to it when this team is ready. And then under member permissions, these are all the different permissions you can have for your members. So I don't want my members to be able to create channels, but if this was checked, you can also allow members to create private channels. So I don't want that. I don't want this. Allow members to delete and restore channels. Nope. Add, remove apps. So this is all the stuff that your admin will be taking care of, and the rest of the stuff is okay. For guest permissions, I can enable guests to create channels, but I'm guessing in order for that guest permission to be enabled, I first have to enable this, because the member can be a guest, and if you don't have this checked, then you won't be able to check this option here. Same thing here. If I allow members to delete and restore channels, then I can also allow guests to delete and restore channels. And then also at mentions, that's the next one. Under at mentions, you can show members the option to at mention the whole team, and this will send a notification to the entire team. And let's just show you an example of that. If I go in here, instead of sending a message to just 1 or 2 members, if I just type in, so this would be the channel name. So if I type in the channel name, this will send a message to everyone who is subscribed to that channel. Now this will send a message to the entire channel regardless of how many members are in that channel. So that's the at mention. You can disable this if you don't want your members mentioning that entire team, because that will show up as a notification for each and every member of that channel. And you can also give the members the option to add channel. So I just did the add team, but I can also disable add team and add channels. So that's how the at mentions work. Fun stuff: allow emojis, memes, gifs, or stickers. So if I disable this, the Ghiphy integration will go away. You can also keep it strict or moderate. And if I go here, it says if it's on the moderate level, the integration between Ghiphy and Teams, it allows G-rated content, which is general admission. If it's strict, then it won't allow that. And enable stickers and memes. Custom memes, I'm okay with all of that, so I'm going to leave it. And then tags, who can add tags? You can say owners only or all members. Right now it's set to owners only, and that's it for settings. And then you have analytics. This shows you the number of users, the number of messages, the number of apps, and also the amount of storage that is used. Under apps, you'll see all the apps that are connected for this particular team, but I can go ahead and delete those apps if I don't want them anymore. So that's for the team settings. Again, if I expand this team, I can also go into general channel settings, and each channel has its own setting that can be different from maybe if I have 5 different channels, I can have different settings for each and every one of those channels. And you can see channels don't have that many settings in them as team itself. That is how you use Teams in a nutshell. Again, this was just a quick, swift demo to get you up and running with Teams. I'll be creating more in-depth videos on how to use Teams, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified every time I release a new video. So that was it for Microsoft Teams and how to use it. Of course, this is a much bigger topic and there is ton to talk about, but this was just a quick video to get you started up and running with Microsoft Teams so you have continuity of business during these hard times. When I'm recording this video towards middle March, today is March 16th, 2020, we are all facing a pandemic across the world called COVID-19, the coronavirus. And I understand that we still need to continue conducting business, and hopefully this will help you and your team in staying productive, staying in touch with each other, and collaborate with each other while we find new ways to conduct our business. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're staying safe wherever you are, and I will catch you on the flip side.